while we're on that topic, let's just dig into it. So for the first trade that we can discuss, Nikola Vucevic got traded to the Bulls. I believe it was him and there was someone else I went with. Him and Al Farouk Aminu got traded to the Bulls, and in exchange, the Orlando Magic got Otto Porter. And who's the other guy that they got? They got Otto Porter and
I think, what's his name?
He doesn't
hard to
matter.
remember the
in
scrubs.
2 first
Wendell
round.
Carter Jr.
and Wendell.
That's what he matters still. My fault.
Nah, he can't matter still. But I'll leave it up for you guys. Just quickly on the topic, like I feel like the Bulls, I don't know if they're short-sighted because they know that, like, hey, Zach LaVine's contract's going to be up in about a year or two, and like he's the most relevant player we've ever had since Jimmy, and now we need to make a push for the playoffs. Like, I understand it to some degree. I just don't know if this is the move, right? Because you get 2 first-round picks as well. Granted, they're top 4 protected, but 2 first-round picks that lightly protected could actually come back to bite you. But I don't know. But Kev, what do you think about that trade?
Yo, if not this, then what? Like, if it wasn't this, then you're gonna end up trading Zach LaVine. Still, that's the way I see it. So at least go get Vucci, who's consistently performed for like 4 years now, at like an all-star level, and Wendell Carter Jr. Like, we saw they gave up on him still. To slap him on the bench, to put him on the bench with that roster and start that young it shows like they gave up on him. They were done with him, and at that point, like I just see it as 2 first-round picks because next year Wendell Carter Jr. is going to be up for restricted free agency. You're not going to pay him, so you let him go and you bring in a guy in Vucci who can actually help you win right now. He's basically carried the Orlando Magic to the playoffs for what, 2 years in a row now on his dolos. And you add him with Zach LaVine. You have guys like Sadaransky who can probably help you win games. Thad Young's still on the team. And you get Al-Farouq Aminu who might be able to play some minutes for you. For me, I think they're a lot better than they were last week. And I think that's important because it was only a matter of time where Zach LaVine was supposed to go out there and put 30 and get slapped by 20 every night before he told Messi to trade it. And I think they just bought themselves some time and they could actually be decent. They can be good now.
Go ahead.
Yeah, the Chicago Bulls are back to middle ground fodder to me, which is why to me the winner of the trade just has to be Orlando on a lot of front, but it's also because I'm biased to that type of thinking or that type of logic. Orlando was like the poster child for me when you talk about a team that is stuck in the mud in quicksand with nowhere to go and they're just sinking slowly. That's what I thought they were. And for them to now go out there and say, we're gonna sell Vooch. Nobody thought that they would actually do that. And the package that they got back, yeah, it wasn't the greatest, but it was still pretty great. Two first round draft picks, top 4 protected from Chicago could be so sweet. It could be so because they're not gonna be bad to the point where they're one of the worst teams in the league, but they can be bad to the point where they're in the top 10. You know what I'm saying? They're 5 through 10 in the lottery. And now you're smiling. And yeah, you may not want to pay Wendell, but who knows? The market probably isn't even there for him to say that he's going to go out there and command money. So you may just get your starting center for $10 million a year. If that's how it shakes out, you look pretty good. So like for me, I'm saying that Orlando is definitely the winner for me, especially with the other moves. It's a complete rebuild, complete rehaul. It's time for them to realize that this eight seed and out, it's just fuckery, honestly. And that's what Chicago is trading. They're saying they want to be a playoff team year in and year out, even if that means that they'll be gone in the first round every single year. But good for them because they haven't had that in like since fucking Derrick Rose is there, so it's all good.
And I hear that, but my only thing is like you bolstered your roster, and you still might be a middling team. Like that's the problem that I have. Like,
but they were garbage. Like they had to move up. You can't just go from garbage to playoff favorite. Like you got to start somewhere. You have to.
Yeah, but it's not even starting. So they're starting at the end of their road because Mandamart, you know what I'm saying? Like Vooch is what 30 plus. So you're basically signing up for 2 years of this Vooch max, and now
like, you got to do something, man. That's the way I see it. Like I understand. I hear you guys, right? Like you're not in no way are there any type of favorites to even win around in the playoffs, right? But Mavs don't go from dog shit have they been for the past 5 years to all of a sudden being a top 4 seed in the East? I understand that Vucci is going to give you about 2 years, but start there. Maybe some guys now that you're waiting on can perform better. Maybe next year you get something out of Kobe White or you get something out of Patrick Williams, and now your team's much better than you thought it was. I just think you got to start somewhere because, again, you have Zach LaVine performing, and it was only a matter of time.
I hear that. I just think maybe like, again, I'm not for the move, but if you're gonna make the move, then make the move. Like, we know Kobe White's not good. Like, if you really want to get good, let's move the pieces that need to get moved.
But that's the best player available, no? They went and got the best player available.
Yeah, but
for the people that we heard about, the rumors that we heard, he was the best available.
We know, right? That's what I'm saying. And even to say that, like, we didn't even know he was available going in. So, like, I just think they did what they had to do. Still, like, it might not look pretty in 3-4 years, but at the same time, like, if I look at Orlando, their drafting history is not good, as like most teams. So, like, I don't know if man's realized, but they've been looking for a starting point guard for years. They went and traded for Markelle Fultz. They've been dumpster diving along with the New York Knicks trying to find point guard replacements. They went and got Cole Anthony, and they just brought RJ Hampton in. They're just searching for a man to be a point guard. And I just see that as them, they're just going to spend the next 2 drafts, whatever draft picks they get, trying to find that guy. And, like, they've done a bad job. Their best pick in the past 5 years is what? Jonathan Isaac, and he can't stay healthy. As good as I think he is. I don't think Aaron Gordon's good, who they spent a high pick on. Cole Anthony, he was kind of later, so I can't blame him for that. But I just think, obviously, Orlando, the reset makes sense for them. I just can't look at Orlando and say you're a clear winner. Yeah, you have that first round pick, but what are you going to do with it? Because
you don't have faith in them.
It's better to have it, though. But it's better to have it than to have Vucci.
I kind of disagree with that, though, because, like, Vucci wasn't. They could have had their own first round pick. It's different when a man's basically carrying you to the playoffs, and, you know, removing him from the team makes your team worse, which then improves your draft pick. They were already shit. You could have kept Vucci, drafted a guy, and at least look at your roster and say, "Can I do something now?" You trading Vucci, they're 14th in the East right now. Like, you don't get any better. So your
draft pick was shit regardless, but the whole point of trading him is because of the asset that you got in return. Like, that top 4 protected, I'd rather have that than have Vucci. Like, they have 2 top 4 protected first round picks. For them, Vucci wasn't doing anything. I think they won like one game in the playoffs over the last like 4 years.
Yeah, but they're in the playoffs.
The asset sounds cool. I get it, right? The top 4 protected pick sounds blessed, right? It could be 15th, it could be 12th, it could be 10th, it could be anywhere in the top 10. I then look at it and say, even if they have a high pick, they have showed me no ability to pick well. And if I'm an organization, I would like to have some self-awareness and realize, okay, I've shown no ability to make the right pick. Would I not take the proven player? I get that they're not winning playoff games. I understand that they're just getting there, and this year they're bad. But I don't know. At the end of the day, I'd still take Vucci before I go after 2 first-round picks. That may end up to absolutely nothing.
I'm telling you, bro. Make the move in the offseason, fam.
Nah, I'm not talking about no offseason. I'm not talking about
if you're gonna make a move, were they gonna get better than this in the offseason?
Yeah, I'm not talking about offseason.
No, I'm joking around, but in all honesty, this is the exact reason why I say mid-season moves I'm not a fan of, because they don't always get better. On paper, it looks like you got better, but you don't always get better. And if the Bulls did all this and still end up as a 10th seed, what do they have to show for it? That's my only point. Like, this is one of those moves that's made on the fly. Like,
they have 2 all-stars.
Yeah, but do they really, though? Because you could have 2 sub-tier all-stars and still be sniffing at the 9th seed. Next year, same way. It's like,
but I'm just saying they have 1 more all-star than they did last year. That's all.
Yeah, but he's an all-star, but like,
you see?
No. Don't talk down on Vucci now. Don't talk down. I'm not saying
he's not perennial.
I'm not saying the man's perennial. I'm not saying he's perennial, but let's not move like this guy hasn't been putting up all-star numbers for at least.
Yes, he has. He has as the only valuable offensive weapon on his roster.
So you're telling me what? That his production's a product of his team being shit?
I'm just telling you what
All right, okay,
what is
you're not willing
seen.
to say that then. That's what. Okay,
No,
so
what I'm willing to say is he was the only viable offensive option on his team,
Right.
and whenever it came time to actually winning games, he didn't do anything. That's
well,
not a lie.
so what? He didn't play well in the playoffs. Is that what you're saying?
He didn't do anything.
So
He
is he
didn't win
supposed to beat the one
games.
seed? What you're saying? He's supposed to beat the one seeds?
Fam, listen, all I'm telling you is what I know.
That's
He
what I thought.
hasn't won. So like I can't sugarcoat that any other way, bruh. I can only tell you what happened.
Because now 8 seeds are supposed to beat 1 seeds. Still, I hear that.
Fam, hey.
It's happened.
I hear that.
It's happened.